Hi friends, my name is Kalpesh and welcome to my official YouTube channel Automotive Craft. In this video, I'm going to discuss about the MAP sensor, which is also known as a manifold absolute pressure sensor. In this video, I'm going to discuss about what is inside the MAP sensor. That means you can consider the construction, how it works, and where it is, where you can find this MAP sensor under the hood, and the most important thing, if any fault occurs in the MAP sensor, what will happen, that I'm going to discuss in this video. So let's check it out. In this slide you can find few pressure sensors which are utilized in the vehicles. The first you can find the manifold absolute pressure, which is our area of interest. The second one, it is known as a barometric pressure sensor. Third one, vapor pressure sensor. Fourth one, turbocharger pressure sensor. And at below you can find how you can find the property to be measured with the help of this kind of a sensors. So manifold absolute pressure sensors, it measures the intake manifold pressure. Likewise, barometric pressure sensor, it measures the atmospheric pressure. It is mounted with the ECM, and continuously it measures the atmospheric pressure. The vapor pressure sensor, if your vehicle is equipped with the evaporative emission control system, then and only then you can find this vapor pressure sensor in the evaporative system only. The turbocharged pressure sensor, again, if your vehicle is turbocharged, not a naturally aspirated system, then and only then you can find the turbocharger pressure sensor in intake manifold. So as I said, our area of interest is, in this video I'm going to discuss the manifold absolute pressure sensor. So in this video we will stick to the MAP sensor only. As you have seen in the previous slide, there are four types of pressure sensor utilized in the vehicle. Depends on the manufacturer, depends on the application, and depends on the vehicle you own. All the pressure sensors, they are working on the same principle. Maybe they are mounted at a different places, they are measuring the different parameters for different purpose, but they work on the same principle. And the principle is in the principle you can understand with the help of the small figures. In these small figures you can find, this is the chamber, a small chamber, and here one opening is provided. This opening will be connected with the device or the location where we need to measure the pressure, and in between this chamber and this opening, a small silicon chip is mounted over here. Now this is the same figure, but it indicates the lower pressure. So as the pressure varies, the silicon chip flexes in a different manner depending on the pressure variation, and as this silicon chip flexes, the amount of silicon chip flexes determines the output voltage signal. We are all aware with the equation of the resistance, R, it is equals to rho into L by A. This is the very basic equation of resistance. Now, so with the help of this equation you can understand the principle of this pressure sensor. As the length of the silicon chips varies due to the pressure, whether it is a high pressure or a low pressure, the resistance of the material, which is silicon, obviously it varies, and as the resistance varies, it ultimately controls the output voltage. Generally all the pressure sensors, they are supplied the 5 volts from the ECU. So this is the principle on which all the four pressure sensor, they are working. Now let's see the MAP sensor. As we have seen in the earlier slide, again you can find the vacuum chamber in this figure. This is the vacuum chamber. This two figure, it indicates the construction of the MAP sensor. This is the silicon chip. So ultimately this is our chamber that we have discussed in the previous slide, and this is the silicon chip. This is the silicon chip, and this is the opening through which we can measure the property. Now, a silicon chip is mounted inside the reference chamber. This is our reference chamber. On one side of the chip is reference pressure. As a reference pressure, sometimes manufacturer prefers the vacuum, and sometimes a calibrated pressure will be there. It depends on the manufacturer, it depends on the type of vehicle. On other side, the pressure which is to be measured. When the silicon chip fluxes with the change in pressure, when the fluid which is flowing through this channel and it pressurizes the silicon chips, depends on the pressure the silicon chips fluxes. This silicon chips changes its dimension, and accordingly the voltage output will vary. The ECM interprets this voltage signal. As I said earlier, the map sensor is supplied a 5-volt input, and this output of the sensor by this channel, it will be again goes to the ECM, and ECM or ECU, it interprets the voltage signal. Depends on the voltage signal strength, it understands the other input parameters which are depending on the manifold absolute pressure. So intake manifold pressure is directly related to the engine load. As the load increases, the intake manifold pressure increases, and as the pressure increases, silicon chip flexes more and more, and that's why the resistance of the silicon chips will be higher, and higher voltage output signal will be produced from the map sensor, which is sent to the ECU. Now the question is, why does ECM or ECU needs to know the pressure value of intake manifold? By measuring the intake manifold absolute pressure, the ECM or ECU, it tries to understand the engine load, and depends on the engine load, it considers how much amount of fuel to be injected during the cycle and at what time the ignition should take place. These are the few key conditions which are depends on the engine load, and that can be calculated with the help of the voltage signal provided by the map sensor. And that's why this is very important sensor in every vehicle. The map sensor is located either directly on the intake manifold, or it is mounted high in the engine compartment and connected to the intake manifold with the vacuum hoses, provided that the hoses which is utilized to connect the map sensor and the intake manifold should not be cracked, or it should not have any defect. Now in this plot it is output voltage signal which is coming out from the map sensor, and here is the pressure, absolute intake manifold pressure. So here pressure values, they are given in 3 different parameters: mmHg, inch Hg, and kilopascal. So this value, it indicates mmHg and inch Hg, and this value, it indicates the kilopascal. Now you can understand from this plot that the output voltage signal, it is directly related to the absolute pressure. As the absolute pressure increases, the output voltage is increasing continuously, as I said in the previous slide. Now the difference in pressure between the vacuum pressure and the intake manifold pressure changes the voltage signal, and the map sensor converts the intake manifold pressure into the voltage signal, which is also known as a PIM. Now this figure, it indicates the circuit diagram of the map sensor and the ECU. As I said, in construction of a map sensor, we have a silicon chip, and as the pressure inside the intake manifold varies, the silicon chip dimension also varies, and it will behave as a variable resistor. So here is the variable resistor, and this is integrated circuit chip. Now, as I said, the ECM continuously supplies the power of approximate 5 volt to the map sensor through this VC, and the output signal which is sent to the ECU, it will be sent via this channel. This E2, it is nothing but the simply earth. So this is the simple wire diagram of a map sensor. Now, if any fault occurs in the map sensor, how can one diagnose the problem in the map sensor? So the map sensor can cause a variety of drivability problem. Visually check the sensor, connection, and the vacuum hoses. As I said, sometimes the map sensor, it is located little bit away from the intake manifold, and it is connected with the hoses with the intake manifold. So we need to check the connection and the vacuum hoses, whether any crack is there or whether any leakages in the connection is there. So first and foremost, we need to check, we need to inspect visually. The vacuum hose should be free from kinks, leaks, obstruction, and the connected to the proper port. Sensor calibration and performance is checked by applying a different pressures and comparing to the voltage drop specification. This voltage drop can be calculated by subtracting the output voltage from the input voltage of map sensor. The simple example, it is given in this figure. This is applied vacuum pressure in kilopascal and mmHg and inch Hg, as we have seen earlier, and this is the voltage drop. This is output minus input. Accordingly, you can find the voltage drop occurs across the sensor. You can compare it with the values which is provided by the manufacturers. One more point I would like to emphasize, in sometimes what happens with the map sensor, it continuously sends the false value to the ECM. In such condition, it is difficult to investigate whether sensor is faulty or some other faults are there. Map sensor does not send any value, that means it is faulty. But if it sends a false value, it is very difficult to investigate where the actual problem is, because ECM is constantly receiving some values, and accordingly it will produce the output signal for the computer control injection system or the ignition system, wherever it required. Okay, so according to the false value it receives, it will produce the false value for the some other systems too, and it will continue. Such kind of cases occurs during the monsoons, or if your car stands still for a long time period. So we need to check the map sensor output voltage regularly. This is what about the map sensor. Thank you so much, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe this channel. If you like it, share with your friends so they can get some benefit from this. Thank you so much.